What's good? I'm Kasim. It's Just Sneakers, back with another review. And today we got the Supreme Nike Shox Ride 2 in the white, red, and gray. Now, Supreme and Nike, frequent collaborators, linked up once again. These dropped in 3 other colorways: an all black pair, a red pair, and an olive and lime green pair. It's safe to say that the olive pair was the most popular pair from what I've been seeing. I personally wanted this pair, and I didn't even try to get the olive pair. I went straight for the white and red pair because this is what appealed to me. These released end of June on the Supreme app and site. It was a pretty simple cop for the most part. Now, without further ado, let's just jump straight into this review. For the most part, the shoe is comprised of leather, mesh, and suede. I would say that the shoe is about probably like 75% of this mesh. And for this pair, it's this white mesh. And we have some suede accents and white leather accents throughout. And of course, the Shox technology. Okay, we can start off at the toe. At the toe, we have this gray suede. It's a light gray suede, very light, and it feels like a felt kind of suede. That gray suede is running, throughout the whole shoe, mud guard to the back. It has that whole pattern. Also on the toe, we have some of the white leather accents peeking out. We can move over to the toe box. We have white mesh, leather accents, and the red stitched on swoosh. As far as the mesh goes, it looks to be layered and it seems pretty breathable. Definitely in line for summer. We can move up towards the tongue. We have the white leather eyelets. The tongue itself is white mesh and gray suede. We have this red tab here, it says Supreme. And on the tongue, we have the Nike Shox logo, and that's red and white. As far as shoelace, we have this white pair of shoelace. We also have this light gray pair of shoelace right here, which is a different style of shoelace than the one that it comes with. These are more of like a flat vinyl kind of laces, and these are, the regular white ones, not the flat, but the ones that have been in kicks for a long time. The sock liner is a mesh and gray. Tongue, red with the Shox and Supreme logo. Also, with the shoe, we have this tag here, the Nike Shox tag with Supreme. Now let's move to the side of the shoe. As far as Shox go, I could say the Free Ride 2 is like among the better pair of Shox. Because there's a number of models that have the Shox, but this is among the better models, I would say. We can start with the swoosh. The swoosh is this light gray and it's plastic. This whole part here with the gray and a bit of white is all plastic. Of course, we have the gray suede accents as well as the leather and the mesh. So, it's a mix of all the materials going on right there. White, gray, real sublimated. Let's take a look at the midsole. The midsole is a gray. We have 2 air bubbles here. And of course, we have the Shox, which is the main attraction of the shoe for the most part. And since these are a Supreme and Nike collab, Supreme opted to put their logo going around the Shox. To the back of the shoe, we have suede, mesh, and leather. We have this gray suede. Top of the heel tab is leather with the Nike Shox logo in this plastic bubble here. We have a red stitch swoosh and gray mesh. And of course, the Shox as well. Look at the inside of the shoe. Pretty much the same as the outside. You get all that. Move over to the outsole. Gray and red. We have a bunch of these red dots here. And of course, these red parts signifying the Shox and whatnot. Yeah, man. Overall, pretty simple shoe, man. That's all you got to it. It's not so much going on. Now, as far as sizing goes, I'm gonna suggest true to size. For me, that's a size 9 to give you a point of reference. Jordan 1s, I'm a size 9. Air Force 1s, for the most part, I half size down, but I'm a size 9 through and through for the most part. And the fit on these, honestly, it's a bit snug, but not too much. It's not so snug that I need to half a size up, but it's a bit more snug than I expected. It could be that these are Shox and a little, lifted and at an angle. So your foot is kind of sloping down so it feels tighter than what it is. It could be that, but I suggest true to size. As far as comfort goes, you know, it's pretty comfortable, you know, considering it's more comfortable than like an Air Force One or something like that. But I don't really think that these shoes were made for comfort. These were made for like resistance and doing like high impact sports or training and whatnot and having resistance. So I don't think comfortability for the most was the main point. And you know, it's 2022, you can find way more comfortable sneakers than these, but these are definitely good enough and great enough for you to rock all day type. As far as resale goes, resale is pretty decent. Last time I checked, it's not too much over retail. If you didn't pick these up when they first dropped, you know, expect to pay a little bit over. It ain't nothing too crazy, I think. Not right now, at least. Now let's jump into some on-feet looks. Now for my thoughts on these, I'm rocking with them, of course. Out of Shox, to be honest, I kind of like the Vince Carter joints more. Besides like these runner ones, like the runner ones was cool and they were real popular, especially like in New York at a time. But as far as Shox go, I was really digging the Vince Carters, the VC, I forgot exactly what they're called. I'll throw a picture up. But I always found those dope. And that was like the first Shox that really appealed to me. And then I started seeing a couple runners that were dope and whatnot. You know, Supreme, they've been popping for so long and they're so hyped. At least they've been hyped for at least like the last 10 years or something like that. So it's like when Supreme stuff drops, it's kind of few and far between that I kind of go on my way to get it. These, I pretty much knew I was gonna go for them and I knew the colorway that I was gonna go for, and it was these. Because these are just the most natural looking pair to me. You know, these look like they would have dropped in 05. And it's also a summer ready look. You know, we in June right now, July. And, you know, I'm kind of in that mode. So this is the ones I went for. Of course, like I previously stated, the olive was probably the most sought after pair. And the olive is dope too. To be honest, all the colorways are dope. There's not a colorway of these that are ugly in particular. They're probably just not as wearable or just not my cup of tea. All in all, I think they did a good job on all of them. But for me personally, the white and red colorway was the one for me. Like I said, it's the most natural looking. It looks like if these would have never been for me personally, if these would have never been a Supreme collab and they just dropped white and red, I probably would have given them a look as well. So that's really what I was looking for. Like like a lot of these hype kicks, I kind of just try to look at them without the logo and say, if this would have just been Nike or anything on it, would I like this and wear it? You know, and that passed the test for these. But I want to know what y'all think. You know, are y'all a fan of Shox? Did y'all have these back in the day? Yeah, leave it below. Did y'all cop? Did y'all cop on a resale? You just think these is trash? Either way, like, share, comment, subscribe. It's just sneakers. Peace.